It's been more than a year since El Salvador made history by becoming the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender. But with market volatility and the country facing plummeting economic growth with high deficits, residents have found the nationwide cryptocurrency experiment to be relatively anticlimactic. So in today's video, let's explore where El Salvador is in its crypto experiment. You don't want to miss this. So, how's the experiment coming along? The use of Bitcoin in El Salvador appears to be low, as the currency has lost about 60% of its value since the experiment started, and the country still faces plummeting economic growth and high deficit. El Salvador debt-to-GDP ratio, gross domestic product, a key metric used to compare what a country owes with what it generates, is set to hit nearly 87%. Wow. This year, stoking fears that the nation isn't equipped to handle its loan obligations. Data from Bloomberg Economics shows that El Salvador tops its ranking of emerging market countries that are vulnerable to a debt default. Even as it retires some of its outstanding debt, the country's domestic and multilateral loan obligations pose a real threat, in part because the world's largest or biggest lenders aren't too keen to give cash to a country betting its future on one of the most volatile assets on the planet. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Bitcoin. Paired with economic woes, with the renewed war on gang violence, and the country is barreling toward uncertainty. The government claims the developments as a success, but most local commentators and international watchers are underwhelmed. Rachel Zember, founder of Zember Insights. Bitcoin uptake appears low. When El Salvador Bitcoin law came into effect September the 7th, 2021, Jimmy Garcia was hopeful that it would fix a few big problems with the way that El Salvador sends, receives, and spends money. As part of the law, prices are now somewhat listed in Bitcoin, tax contributions can be paid with digital currency, and exchanges in Bitcoin will not be subject to capital gains tax. But the law was promoted as a way to expand financial inclusion, which is no small thing for a country where approximately 70% of the population does not have access to traditional financial services according to the Bitcoin law. Wow. El Salvador launched a virtual wallet called Chio that offers no-fee transactions, allows for quick cross-border payments, and requires only a mobile phone plus an internet connection. It's aimed to bring users on board quickly, both to scale Bitcoin adoption and to offer a convenient on-ramp for those who have never been a part of the banking system. So, in January of this year, about 60% of the population, or about 4 million people, used the Chio app, and more people from El Salvador had Chio wallets than traditional bank accounts. As a matter of fact, according to September 20th research note from Deutsche Bank, still only 64.6% of the country had access to a mobile phone with internet, this note says. But a report published in April by the U.S. National Bureau of Economic Research showed that only 20% of those who download the wallet continue to use it after spending the $30 bonus. Are you kidding me? You download the wallet to spend $30? Man. The research was based upon a nationally representative study involving 1,800 households. And so big chains like McDonald's, Starbucks, and most merchants at a mall accepted Bitcoins. But are people using it? According to local residents, not too much, really. Not really much going on locally. It's mostly a tourist thing. And so mostly tourists are using the Bitcoin. A survey by El Salvador-based El Instituto de Opinión Publicana, a public opinion think tank, found that 7 in 10 people in El Salvador did not think that the Bitcoin law had benefited their family economically. Another survey by the Institute found that 76 out of 100 small and medium-sized businesses in El Salvador did not accept Bitcoin payments. Are you kidding me? El Salvador went to great lengths for the Bitcoin law, and you're telling me that 76 out of 100 businesses don't accept it? El Salvador, what was the point of the experiment?
Let's take some time to mention our sponsors. ResimPay is a merchant-based processing platform similar to Stripe and PayPal. If you're looking to accept credit card payments or ACH payments in your business, ResimPay is the way to go. Another sponsor is ResimCoin, the premier cryptocurrency exchange. If you're looking to purchase Bitcoin or other crypto, ResimCoin is your place. I'll post a link to the website below. And finally, for those comic and manga lovers, Damien Angelic is your manga. Join Jahara on his quest to unravel the mysteries of the Negacy Shard. I'll post a link to the description below.
Bitcoin's first year in effect had transcended from a commercial expectation to an irrelevant topic for traders, says Laura Andrade, director of El Salvador's Universidad, according to a CNBC translation of her Spanish language comments. Andrade said many large corporations are still advertising that they're taking payments in Bitcoin, but are making excuses not to accept the cryptocurrency, including saying their system does not work or the Bitcoin wallet is out of service. The foregoing is evidence that this cryptocurrency in reality never had penetration in national commerce. There seems to be evidence that most people use it primarily to get the free money from the government, but have not used it on an ongoing basis given volatility and fees, Ziniaba said. Meanwhile, those who did use the government's crypto wallet reportedly had technical problems with the app. Other residents from El Salvador fell prey to schemes involving identity theft, in which hackers used their national ID number to open a Chio e-wallet in order to claim the free $30 worth of Bitcoin offered by the government as an incentive to join. A survey published in March by the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of El Salvador found that 86% of businesses have never made a sale in Bitcoin, and only 20% of businesses take Bitcoin, despite the law's mandate that all merchants accept the cryptocurrency. They gave people the wallets, they forced businesses to accept them, but essentially, in my opinion, it's a big nothing burger, says Frank Nucci, a policy fellow at the London School of Economics, who has experience advising governments in Latin America. Nobody really uses the app to pay in Bitcoin. People that do use it mostly use it for dollars. The experiment also involved building a nationwide infrastructure of Bitcoin ATMs, but they're too far away for most people to use. Another hope for the Chio wallet was that it would help save hundreds of millions of dollars in remittance fees. Remittances, or money sent home by migrants, account for more than 20% of El Salvador's gross domestic product, and some households receive over 60% of their income from this source alone. Income sources can change 10% or more in fees for those international transfers. Woo! Which can sometimes take days to arrive and require a physical pickup. But in 2022, recent data shows that only 1.6% of remittance were sent to El Salvador via digital wallets. According to the Deutsche Bank report from September, part of the reason Bitcoin transfers haven't caught on has to do with the complications of buying and selling Bitcoin for dollars. The report notes that people who send and receive remittances frequently use informal brokers to convert local currency to and from Bitcoin, and extremely volatile prices make buying and selling the cryptocurrency a complex task requiring technical know-how. This is a new money, a new way of doing things for a population that is very comfortable with dollars. This is a population that is largely unbanked and would rather deal with hard cash that they can see and feel. And this is from Garcia. Miles Strutter, the crypto project lead at Cash App, told CNBC on a panel at the Missouri Minette conference in New York that the government's 90-day rollout of the Chio wallet and nationwide adoption of Bitcoin was rushed, and that there were still a lot of problems. You shouldn't mandate the acceptance of a specific currency, said Shudder, who spent 6 months in El Salvador in the run-up to the passing of the Bitcoin law. However, Shudder added that the media perception is worse than how things actually are. I saw and experienced lives being changed by having access to a new emerging monetary standard, he said. If you like today's content, please give us a like and also smash the subscribe button. It gives you updates whenever we release new content. This is Dario Roberts with the final farewell. Ah, yeah.